Welcome back to Limbus Company, Daily Mirror Dungeon. It's Randomizer today, and I've actually made a pretty notable update to the Randomizer. There's now an entirely new option, that being the Select Path. What this is going to do is it's basically going to select which floor paths I'm going to need to choose for this run, making it so there's another thing outside of my control for this, that maybe will make me choose, bad floors or stuff like that, right? I've also added a couple new prescripts, that sort of thing. Otherwise, most of the same as usual. We'll just roll, default-ish settings. Give it a roll, see what we get. Okay, so you can see here, over on the right side, you can see the floors we're going to go on. So, fourth option, first, second, and then fourth option for the 4 floors. Rupture stuff. Spotlight, shuffle the team order so the ID you think is the worst in slot 1, and so on for the rest of the team. Okay, that's simple enough. I'm just gonna change the team order so that I sort them based on, who's the worst. Rupture gift is, little unfortunate. We do technically have 2. I guess we technically have 3 Rupture units, because Otis still counts as Rupture. So that's something, I guess. Although none of them are particularly great at it. You're the best, but Talisman's isn't unique Rupture, so, still not perfect at it. Other than that, like, we got some Bleed with you two. We've got some Burn with you, some Charge with you. Yeah, not too much synergy with this team. Also, not a lot of egos. We kind of rolled pretty low on some egos. No one's actually got more than 1 ego alongside their default ego, so, That's pretty funny. Well, give me a minute to build the team, and then we are going to get into it. The team has been prepared, it's all been selected, and let's just get straight into it. I've got an idea as to how I'm going to sort the team, because funny spotlight EU gift, I'm not putting in the bottom left because it'll only matter for the first bit, but we're going to be able to organize the team as we wish. So if we pull up the floors here, you can see that we have to choose the 4th floor here, which is going to be Nagel and Hammer floor, so we'll roll with that. And now we can hide that. If I press the button right, there we go. And then spotlight time. So I got to order them based on the worst to best. I mean, worst... I mean, I think it's probably going to be, like, this. I think, you could debate this. It's my personal preference is what I think is worse, right? And then for the other 3, you're obviously the best here, so you're going in 6th slot, but, I still don't really know if you're going to be better or worse than something like... I like Rospan or Rodion a lot. We'll do that, sure. Don't know. I made the tier list yesterday, but I already, don't remember anything about what I selected there. So yeah, that'll work. This is our team order. Worst to best. So we'll see how that goes, right? Okay, yeah, Nagel and Hammer floors, we're just gonna fight a bunch of Inquisitors. And at the very end, we will be, fighting Gita, that's right. Simple enough. Rip space time. Good rip space. I probably shouldn't have needed rip space, but I was, autopilot mode. I need to remember, I am running a unit that, actually requires me to pay attention when I use their skills. Unfortunately, you've got 5 talismans and no skill 3, that's fine. Would be nice if we get some talismans onto the enemy, because that would be pretty good for Otis, right? Just free debuffs. That's okay. Either way, we keep on killing these guys. We'll get our sanity up in time, and then stuff will be better. Focusing on some charge type EU gifts definitely would be a nice option. We're starting with Rupture, so we of course have Barb Snare, Fluorescent Lamp. I'll probably upgrade Fluorescent Lamp to ++, because it'll just be a bunch of buffs, and that's always nice to have. Yeah, charge stuff would be nice. Stuff that gives us charge to start out with. Because that would benefit both Rodion and Dawn, who are, the 2 3-stars we're running on this team. Everyone else is a 2-star, so something that benefits both of them is pretty nice. And I guess the closest to actual synergy we've got on this team. Right. Middle Merso is nice to have in combination with Ring Otis, though. Middle Merso can get a bunch of debuffs onto an enemy, especially if you can get Vengeance Mark onto him. So it could be nice to make sure she can get her funny skill 2 conditionals off, but it shouldn't be too bad. Enemies will have Rupture fairly frequently because of Barbed Snare. It won't last super long because it's only potency, but still, it's something, right? And that's what matters.
동랑님 지시로 응원용 파이를 사오긴 했지만 여건상 드시기 힘드시기에 제가 대신해서 먹어드리겠습니다.
Yeah, roll with that. Looks good enough. Yeah, they did, show off the patch notes for this week's update. Of course, it's just a bug fix type thing. They're going to be nerfing the ring IDs into being only bleed units, but, for the best. I'll try and make the most of, the time I have left to do stupid team compositions. But, I'm not too concerned, right? Well, I do definitely hope we get more actual, hybrid status effects units in the future. I don't think the way I want it is to have a couple units that have everything, right? Definitely not what I was aiming for. Nice. And they're all dead, cool. Get an event now? What's it gonna be? Paper crane, man. Cool. It's fine. I guess, yeah, I haven't touched Mirror Dungeon on my own basically at all this week so far. Right, I maxed out Starlight, I've been grinding, I've been taking some time to get my Encapsulate build back up, right? I'm gonna need as much, because event's gonna be next week, almost certainly, I want to say. I guess I don't know for sure, but, I mean, logically. It's about time for it, right? And chances are they're going to be doing the thing where they did for the Blade Lineage event again, where during the event, there's going to be new stuff in the Mirror Dungeon and stuff. Because I assume they're going to do that for, every event from now on. It definitely sounds like they are. And after the event ends, part of it might remain permanent in Mirror Dungeon 4. Not the entire thing, of course, but, some floor packs and stuff like that. So they did say they're going to make it so some things that happen during the Mirror Dungeon, or during the events, will stick around in Mirror Dungeons, even in Mirror Dungeon 4, right? So that'll be cool. Instead of having to wait till the next Mirror Dungeon entirely to see that stuff again. Does make me wonder if they're going to do something like that for the Railway 4 as well. If, Railway 4 a couple weeks later, they'll just add the Railway 4 Abnos to the actual Mirror Dungeon, but I kind of doubt it. I feel like that's the kind of thing where they'll wait till Mirror Dungeon 5 to add the Railway 4 Abnos, right? Just based off past patterns, but maybe I'll be wrong on that. It could go either way, really. We'll have to see. Nice, that's a victory. But yeah. Funny change, though. They are nerfing base Hong Lu and LCR Faust because they're making it so they're conditionals that are like, oh, as long as you didn't take damage last turn, you get a buff to this skill. It no longer applies first turn, which is unfortunate. It means stuff like Hong Lu's skill 2 and skill 3, and LCR Faust's skill 3 just won't be as strong turn 1. If you want to get them to get their funny coin power, especially funny coin power for LCR Faust, you just gotta save her skill 3 for turn 2 or something, assuming she doesn't get hit first turn. Which she probably won't, but you never know, right? It's a fine change, but I feel like it's just kind of funny how it's been like this since launch. Actually, I feel like they've tried to do this before. I feel like they've tried to make this change in the past. I'm getting a strange sense of deja vu from it, right? I don't know if I'm right or wrong about that. I very well could just be making it up, but I feel like they've tried to do it in the past before. It sounds familiar, at least in my head, so who knows. Okay. We're getting some decent clash here, getting our sanity up. That's nice to see. Got a bunch of random buffs. You definitely got a bunch of random buffs. It's 4 damage up. Pretty cool. And you're doing on Guido, but you've got Pierce stuff, so it's not the best. Although he does have a little bit of debuffs on him. And your passive should give him more, right? Potentially. Oh no, it's for people with least debuffs, yeah. Yeah, not enough debuffs on that guy, that's fine. You can get more U-gifts and stuff for debuffs, and that should be good, right? I think so, at least. I don't remember what else the patch did. The patch notes said that we're doing this week. Not too much beyond that, I think. Random bug fixes here and there. Found it funny how they were talking about making, Yisong sound less archaic in Japanese. Which is funny. Did he speak old-timey, Dawn in Japanese, partially? He kind of does that sometimes in English, too. Thinking about, the warp cutscene when he's referring to the trains as, iron horses or whatever. Anyways, there's our victory. Hi, Gregor. Good boy. He's sitting next to me. Big baby. Talisman bundle. Interesting. Fiery down. Actually, it could be pretty nice. Getting random burn on people. We've already got some rupture. Not a lot, though. Talisman bundle is good, but, like... Fire down's probably the one that's the most useful here. And it's also the highest tier. That's cool. And also, just giving me a bunch of cost. I don't need the Starlight anymore, so we can just go for this. Let's see. Let's check the floor. So we're going leftmost option here. So Outcast. So we could actually get the Ebony Brooch here. Like 2 Rupture Potency and count all enemies. That's not bad for, like, getting that stacked. So yeah, we might actually take that. It's a fairly weak Yuga for, a unique one, but I feel like most of the unique ones aren't too special, barring the ones from Hell's Chicken and Blade Lineage events. Because, I mean, they're just kind of stupid. Briefly burned all enemies. Not great. Elderfly is more burned, just kind of spread. I'll take the Elderfly, I think. Probably just gonna grab more random stuff that synergies with status effects. Bleed, sure. Oh, Imitative Generator is actually really funny, but, unfortunately, our charge units are not in the first 2 slots, so it does not help us here. Dawn skill change? Tempting. We don't really need to, though. She's showing up again. Maybe we should, then. In charge count, sure. Let's just grab the random stuff here. Let's get Dawn those skill 3. We'll probably get something for charge at some point here. Like I said before, it's a good idea for that to be something to focus on, to at least some degree, right? Yeah, anyways, Outcast floor means it shouldn't be too hard to do much of anything here, I don't think. Okay, you can leap immediately, that's good. Do a little bit of that, cool. Sinclair's gonna be able to do his funny thing where he, immediately gets 5 talismans on self. Because he's hitting a skill 2 against someone without any rupture. And that's me how he gets to 5 talismans. Keep on seeing people who don't seem to understand that it is very nice to have him uptied because it makes his talisman gains so much easier. And, like, sure, he's gonna have far more talismans than he needs to if I do for another skill 2, but, like, if you have him uptight 3 or lower, the only way to get him to 5 talismans turn 1 is to do his skill 2 and get the Gluttony Resonance in the same turn, which is just kind of super inconvenient. You don't really get Gluttony Resonance too frequently on Rupture teams, all things considered, because a lot of, like, the strong Rupture-inflicting Gluttony skills are their skill 3s and stuff, right? Well, Gluttony is, tied to Rupture the most closest. Stuff like 7 Faust, 7 Heathcliff, they've only got Gluttony on their skill 3s, right? And, like, a lot of the time, and for most of the other Gluttony units, you don't really want to use their Gluttony skills, because it's a lot of the skill 1s that aren't great for the actual Rupture stuff. Yeah. Either way, Talisman Sinclair is just one of those units a lot of people still don't understand, I think. Which is fair enough, he's kind of hard to use in Mirror Dungeon and stuff. And his payoff isn't great in Mirror Dungeon stuff, but in non-Mirror Dungeon content, he's so worthwhile for Rupture stuff. Right. That's what I think, at least. I mean, obviously... Oh, that reminds me. Have any of you guys seen the 27 turn clear of Railway 3 that, released recently? That was insane. I watched that I watched that 3 yesterday. And, like, there's so many insane stuff going on there. A lot of it is just, classic stuff, like, oh yeah, you gotta set it up so you got your quick suppression, you got your, DDDR, all that sort of stuff ready at the right time to kill, like, the boss in, like, 2-3 turns. Which, of course, is classic, but there's some other shenanigans, too, though. Like, I think, they managed to shave off a turn from, like, the previous record or something, 3 use a Sanguine Desire, and, like, doing a bunch of bleed shenanigans on, Spiral of Contempt, right? Something like that. That's always cool. Okay, yeah, we can get 5 talismans onto this person. Not that we really need to, but it's always funny. The UPS generator, or whatever they call it, actually pretty good for Roseband or Rodion, isn't it? Because it means that she's basically always going to be able to get her funny skill 2 conditional off. Because if we pull up this one, the UPS system, that's the one. Less than 3 charge count, gain 3 charge count next turn. Yeah. Unless you had 3 charge count and then it goes down to 1, because it's at turn end, so assumably it's before charge ticks down? I don't know if it's before or after, actually. Hard to say, but yeah, this way, and because she needs 3 charge in order to get her vibration compression to be funny, that should trigger her most of the time. That's cool. Yeah, we can kill these guys this turn. I'm, like, paying attention to, like, the rip space and stuff like that, as if it really matters at all here, because it really doesn't. These guys are very dead. It's also nice how some of these early Canto 1 enemies debuff themselves with weird, unique debuffs whenever they're panicking. They've got their, like, morale down status effects or whatever it is. It's weird. Not really something later units have nearly as much, I don't think. But it's funny. Okay. Or you guys just go for this immediately. Yeah, rev up. No reason to save up his talisman shenaniganery when it's a fight where he's not gonna have his skill 2 until at least turn 3, right? Because it's not getting up next turn. I don't know. The biggest issue with Talisman Sinclair is the fact his skill 1 is so lame compared to the rest of his kit. Also, why does he have the exact same sin composition as Sank Sinclair? I still don't understand that at all. Because it's the exact same, like, Gluttony, Pride, Lust, right? In that order. And, like, sure, it means they both perfectly fuel his lantern, which I don't even have. I didn't even roll it on the randomizer, so I can't even, you know, use it here, but still just so odd, right? I don't know. Or it's like how the funny composition that they have for Butler Ishmael is on several other IDs. Like, there's some sin compositions that PM just seems to like more than others. I do wonder, like, what are some, like, sin combos that we just haven't seen yet? I guess I could check that. I don't know, it might be something random to look at one day. Not really that important, but it'd be funny, I guess. Homeward time. We'll take it. Of course. I don't know why I say that like there's ever reason not to. You either get homeward or you get nothing here, so I'll gladly take the bunch of healing every fight. Okay, calendar. Simple enough. Funny how the calendar's been buffed in this mirror dungeon compared to the last one, because it's like considered an actual boss now, or whatever the reasoning is. And I say that because it gets 4 clay dolls first turn instead of the 2 it got in Mirror Dungeon 3, right? It's funny. It would be funny if they did more stupid shenanigans with certain versions of the fights. Also, if you hear the whining in the background, that's Gregor. He's just being whiny. He does it sometimes. He doesn't bark, so he whines instead. He hears dogs barking, so he's whining. Did that work for you? It did. Cool. We're actually going to be able to theoretically get the talismans off, which is funny. Might actually wait on it, honestly. Might have just Sinclair just block again or something. Because if we can rip space you, that'll take down the right arm, I believe. You don't have enough charge, actually. Oh, huh. That makes sense, I guess. Yeah. We can't rip space you, I guess. That's fine. You're gonna one-sided block. And then next turn you should be able to inflict talismans on something, so we're just gonna try and make sure we can take down both your arms this turn, right? like something like this potentially. Maybe throw in like a Rhyme Shank or something for good luck. What are you actually weak to though? Slash Sloth Wrath. Not really stuff we've got very much of. I don't know, I'll just send this. May seem a little stupid. Oh, I didn't even realize we're going for Otis' skill too. Yeah, that's a little convenient. Not a lot of debuffs, so it didn't go infinitely or something, but still funny. Left arm down. And right arm down, cool. We get hit a little bit, but we can get funny talismans off now. If we didn't do that in one turn, the issue would have been the fact that we would have had to block with Sinclair. If we wanted to maintain it safely. But now we can get our funny talismans off on you. Might just attack you a bunch here. It'll be funny, I'm sure. Oh yeah, we can DDDR immediately after getting the talismans inflicted. That'll be funny. Bunch more damage from DDDR. Not DD, Rip Space. Same thing, basically. Actually, do we even have enough charge? I don't know if we have enough charge on Dawn. I kind of forgot to check. Huh. We probably do. Psh. We didn't. Okay, that's fine. Still does a lot of damage because we get the talisman damage with each hit. But a little foolish of me. No need to worry about your final phase, though. And Dawn will heal back up anyways, thanks to Homeward. Everyone's talking over each other, God. Okay, yeah, as I mentioned, 11 Brooch seems potentially useful here. Might be able to get more Rupture stuff going. Rupture Gift, give it to me. Oh, we got Talisman Bundle. Cool. That's some more Rupture. Let's see, pull up the floor thingy majig here. Number 2, so it's to be cleaved. So it's a slash weak floor with kind of mid things here. Yeah. Not great rewards, that's fine. So sad, because I keep on seeing stuff like Thunder Branch and other good stuff on the actual floor rewards, so we keep on getting, you know, the floors that have bad rewards. Okay. That's very gentleman for the floor boss, that's okay. Enhance gifts, maybe. What happens if you enhance this? I don't know. Less than 4, less than 5 can... Sure. Why not? Let's be a little bit strange. Let's get some charge stuff buffed. Makes all skills do. We're getting a lot of free refunds. Jeez, why are we getting so many free refunds? Okay. We should not have gotten nearly that many there, but that's cool. I'll roll with it. Yeah, just enhanced a bunch of stuff there. We didn't really need to, but it's always fun to do. Some of you gifts I kind of never enhance because they're not that great to enhance, but like, might as well send it, right? If there's not any you guys we're particularly looking for, let's just buff the stuff we already have, right? Yeah, you guys are big to Slash. As far as Slash we've got in our team, I mean, it's just you, right? Pretty sure it's just you, because you've got Blunt and a little bit of Pierce here, just all Blunt. You're all Blunt. You're Blunt and Pierce, and you're, of course, just Pierce. Yeah, so you're the only person with Slash in your team, so only your skill 1 and skill 3 are going to be good here. I say that, but of course, stuff like Sin Affinities still do matter quite a fair bit. Don't know why I'm stumbling over my words there, huh? That's fine. Would really appreciate getting the lightning rod or something like that, though, in like one of the shops on the next floor or something. Because if we're gonna focus on charge like a bunch for just random buffs and stuff, would be nice to have a little bit more. Okay, as long as you get heads here, you'll have enough to rip space next turn. You don't even get rip space next turn. Never mind, doesn't matter. Means you're probably not gonna get it this fight, because I doubt they'll live beyond a turn 3, right? Surely not. Yeah, we're killing these guys. Pretty cool. And yeah, they all die this turn. No worries there. And Mercer finishes that guy off with a couple punches. As he does. God. Can't wait to see what units we're going to be getting for the time-killing time chapter. So it's probably going to be something funny, right? Just logically speaking, like, If we get detective type IDs, like, obviously best case scenario would be, you know, Moses, Ezra IDs. I'm not betting on that, though, because, don't want to get my hopes up too much, right? But, like, even just generic detective-y stuff would be cool. We might get, like, T-Corp IDs, honestly. It's called Time Killing Time. T-Corp's probably gonna be relevant for the mid-chapter. We might not even get IDs in the first place if they do, you know, a Christmas event type deal, but we probably will get IDs. The main thing is, like, if we are getting egos in one of the events, I feel like it just should be the time-killing time one, because, like, I don't know, maybe we could get, like, Steam Transport Machine egos or something, or some other T-Corp-esque Abno, right? We don't have any Steam Transport Machine egos yet, and it would be a little strange to get event egos for an Abno we fought in a railway, instead of it being, you know, like a general banner, ego. But it could be done. And I say that because if we got egos for the Warp event, that would be strange, because, we already have technically 4 Warp-related egos in the game. Because both, because obviously Wayward Passenger, we've got 2 of those egos, and that's Warp-themed. But also Shock Centipede is Warp-themed as well. Its actual ego gift has the Warp logo on it, right? The, standard duty battery, you can see the little Warp symbol. So, like, both Wayward Passenger and the ADD stuff, those are all Warp-themed already. So if we get egos, it's probably detective stuff, right? Or maybe we'll get more W-Corp-themed egos for next event. Who knows? Did not gain an ego gift, that's fine. We're still getting some cost even when we failed the 33% chances. And we don't even need Rupture ego gift that much, but it's funny to go for, because it's gambling, and even if we fail, we still get a little bit of cost, right? So it's not like we're losing everything on a failure. And you know, gambling is fun. That's why we all love Limbus Company, because we love gambling. Isn't that right? Nice. Just kill that guy instantly, as you do. Some of these people have a lot of debuffs. Great to see for Otis's sake. Although Otis is just skill winning, so not like the most important thing, but still. Fun to see. And yeah, it's a victory. They all died. Boss of this floor. Oh yeah, very long legs. I already said what it was. Because very long legs is quote-unquote Pierce weak, because the head is weak to everything. It's equally weak to Pierce and Blunt, but they decided to include the Pierce part, because why not, I guess? It's all the reason you need sometimes. Okay. You shouldn't be too bad. We can double leap. That'll be nice. We also got some high speed here, so that'll be pretty easy to use. Might throw this on the body. Just so you can get 5 talismans, because... yeah, that'll be fun. Make sure we're not triggering commemorative coin there, because that might ruin us. And we could skill 2 with you here. I'll wait on it, though. Just to make sure, right? Oh, this is a neutral. That's right. We want to redirect that with you. Cool. Send it. Stack debuffs here. Just to make sure that you're nice and debuffed up. Yeah, you've already got a bunch of random stuff off of that. Some of that stuff's gonna go away basically instantly, right? Notably, the Tremor won't last next turn, although, does Rhodion's skill 1 inflict Tremor count? It might. Or is it her skill 2 that inflicts Tremor count, isn't it? Her skill 1, I think, might just be Potency. I don't remember off the top of my head, right? Okay, that's 6 talismans. Oh! Otis's passive actually ruined you, didn't it? Otis's passive randomly inflicted Rupture to that one, huh? Because that's how Otis's passive works, yeah. 2 potency for one of the following effects and 2 any of these types of parts. Focusing counters for parts, yeah. So you randomly gave Rupture to the part we were targeting with that, so that's unfortunate. That's okay, though. We'll live. You can Sanguine Painting you now, and it should go fairly well. Does the head, have... Rupture, yeah, they all do now, because turn 2 and onwards, everything's going to have Rupture no matter what, because we have Barbed Snare. But it's a turn-end one, so it doesn't apply for the first turn. But it definitely applies now. That's okay. Would have been nice to get some shenanigans off with you, but it shouldn't make too big of a difference. This guy's still fairly dead, I think. Sure, we'll have you Clash. It's only a neutral, but it's Liu Honglu. We're not that concerned if he loses or wins. The defense level down in the Fragile. That's nice. Even more debuffs to stack for Otis's sake. Sanguine Painting. And yeah, just... Oh, you actually got 5 talismans this time, because the target didn't have Rupture on hit, or only had 1 counter, whatever it is, right? So we can actually get Flame Talismans next turn. If we're lucky and Sinclair gets hit by the haste a bunch of times, he might be fast. He's not fast. He's actually got 2 haste, and he's still, you know, one of the slowest people here. That's okay. Well, we can get the Talismans inflicted in Spirit, if nothing else. But, like, a lot's coming for this guy this turn. He's not going to be having a fun time. Yeah, just send it. Definitely very dead here. We can easily do 600 damage. Sanguine Painting on its own does, like, however much damage that was. And then here's the Rip Space. Here's the kicker. Like, thinking about it, like, imagine how funny it would be if every hit did a solid 5 more damage thanks to the Talismans. Focusing on the Talismans doesn't even matter that much if you're not going for Rupture count as well. I'll grab the Rupture thing, sure. Rupture Gift? No dice, okay. I got Talisman Bundle early on, I guess that's all we're getting here. But finally, let's take a look at our final floor. It's the 4th option, it's Tremor Floor, okay. That's pretty easy to deal with, I think. Shouldn't be too hard. Shop time. Poise is funny. Oh, we can get Otis more Seal 2s, actually. That's even funnier. Do that, and it's fairly cheap, of course. I'll just buy a bunch of random stuff here. Deceptive Accord, number 5. Number 5 is Otis. Yeah, not worth it. We'll save our cost for the final shop. Sure, this will work. I don't think the gunpowder doesn't do anything. It's only for IDs with a Rupture on it, right? And only if the IDs in the first 2 slots have Rupture, which they very clearly do not. So that's a little unfortunate. Oh, immediate Rip Space. Not great, you can just dodge. Shame your evade doesn't give you charge or something, but once again, you really don't need it, right? Defensive skills are always just so weird in general, whether or not they actually do something useful. Kind of feels like PM, he just rolls the dice sometimes to figure, oh, does this unit want to have a defensive skill that actually does something? They're just very inconsistent, it feels like. Only a couple units that really benefit from bothering with their defensive skills a lot. But obviously there's stuff like Sank Otis, who's got a really good evade. There's stuff like Molar Ishmael, who's got like a really bad evade effect, but also a stupidly high rolling evade. Very high, like, floor for the roll, you know, the minimum, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, is fairly high for that one, which is kind of very silly. And then there's some people who kind of don't want to use their evade too frequently. So the Cake Warp Hong Lu gets him his defense skill, I mean, his block, it gives him ampules, uses them too much, you will die instantly, though. Although you do have, you know, the Nemo passive from, his Dimension Shredder ego that you could use to, you know, give you a little bit of safety. Keyword being a little bit, that only saves you for 1 additional turn, but it's still something, I guess, right? Not really worth risking, I don't think, doing too many ampules. Although it is always funny. This is stuff like, another random example of, like, a weird defensive skill is, of course, Grip Sinclair. Since his defensive skill, gains Sanity for him. Which is a nice thing to do if you're ever, like, if you're trying to be careful with him, like, if you've got, like, a ego you don't want to corrode into, like, if you got, like, a lantern equipped or something, something that really could be pretty harmful to corrode into and you're not wanting it, you can always maintain his sanity. Although I think most people just let him corrode and just have Impending Day as his only ego equipped, because, Impending Day corrosion is fairly harmless and actually buffs him a little bit with the attack power up the turn after. Yeah, defensive skills are weird. I do hope we see more units that actually have, like, their defensive skills kind of more important into their kit, right? Just, like, defensive skills that, like, power you up next turn. Like, if we inevitably do, like, one day get a red mist ID, like, imagine if you needed to use, like, the guard skill, or, like, the counter skill in order to manifest ego, right? Like, you know, turn 3 or something, manifest ego by using your block skill. I was kind of wondering if Philip Sinclair was going to have a bit like that before he got his kit like, officially revealed. Because I was kind of expecting it. Would have been funny, but it's definitely for the best that he doesn't have something like that. But stuff like you need to defend to activate something super useful. It's an interesting trade-off. Pretty bad in Mirror Dungeon and stuff a lot of the time, because most fights only last 2 or 3 turns. So things that take a little bit of setup always do suffer a fair bit. But it definitely could have its worthwhile trade-off by just being super strong. I don't know, I don't expect us to get a rated missed ID for, you know, a couple of years, right? That'll be like Walpurgis like 15 or something. We'll have to see, though. A lot of possibilities. You guys are dying without too much of a hassle, that's nice. We can get a quick recharge off here to get, like, a, what is it, single charge for you? It's equal to Gloom Res divided by 3, right? That's the wrong person entirely. Yeah, Gloom Res divided by 3. So get 1 charge, here you go. One of the passives of all time. It can actually be helpful to trigger a passive like that if you are just conveniently 1 charge away from getting, you know, a Rift Space out. Doesn't happen too frequently, though, because her kit's kind of set up in a way that usually she can get her charge up without needing 1 additional charge, but it kind of was potentially important if you're trying to, like, use a teleport, right? Because teleport gives you 10 charge if you're just using the Awakening one and you don't get, like, lucky. I'm really kind of rambling today. It's a rambling man kind of day, right? That's how it goes. Here we go, more ego gift. Okay, final shop time. We want charge stuff, probably. Employee guard's nice. Kind of late for that sort of thing. Oh, Otis skill change. I shouldn't have re-rolled her. Eh. I thought about it too late, I think. Fragment of Hellfire. That's interesting to see here. I was trying to think if we've got any use for that, but I think, like, we've got, like, Sinclair Soup, and genuinely that might be it for this team? Do we have any other burn egos? Oh, whoops. I need to reset the entire team because of that misclick. Oh, well. I remember the order I set people in, I believe. I meant to click here. Like, do we have any other egos with burn on them? And the answer is no. So Fragment Hellfire would have only affected Sinclair Soup, and even then it's like a 2 power-up, I assume? I don't think this costs... No, it does cost Wrath, actually. Okay, that would actually be a 4 power-up on Stew. Issue is, it is Stew, and I do not want 4 power-up on Stew because it does not need it. Anyways, it's final boss time. I didn't actually look at the resistances because I was too busy talking. It's either Papabangi or Fairy Gentleman, though, so yeah, nothing too bad. Immediate rack from scores this guy, sure. That'll work. Let's see. I want you super dead. You're actually great for a chicken bucket. Meow, 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 meow. And so on and so forth. Sure, roll with that. It's a something. We're kind of letting those 2 other ones attack us freely. And Revving Merso clash randomly, you know, maybe he can land some hits, maybe he can stack some debuffs or something, I don't know. he gets the bleed off, so that's something at least. Okay, Hat Bongi's dead. Excellent. Love to see it. We hate Hat Bongi. And Chicken Bucket doesn't go down this turn, but it shouldn't be too big of a hassle. We've done enough damage to it that it's close to being staggered, and we can just one-side the bit next turn, I think. Crimson Blaze Fist Gaming, get enough burn count going on that part that'll maintain it for a while. Oh, commemorative coin. How nice. I say that because it doesn't help us at all. In case it wasn't obvious. Yeah, Chicken Bucket trying to spawn more bongies. Very rude. You've actually got enough. Oh. Well, you can do that on the body then. I think that'll be fun. You don't have any talismans. Interesting. Something like this, maybe? Could work out. Let's send it. See how this goes. Immediately rip spacing you because it'll be funny damage numbers. And we're going to follow it up with Otis, so... Very dead. You actually died of vibration compression, huh? Don't even get to Otis skill, do you? Well, that's fine. We would have gotten 5 talismans there had that guy not died instantly, but that's okay. Once again. And yeah, they're all dead. Kind of a very, very easy final fight, Papa Bongi is, but I guess I'll take it, right? Might as well. A+. Thank you. You did the most damage. Yep, checks out. Can't say I'm surprised. You're super strong. More damage than Warped On is funny, but we weren't really leaning into the charge stuff too much, so... That's how it goes. Get 3 more levels. Excellent. Nice 653. That's a couple of boxes worth of levels. Nice. Let's take a look at my collection. Quite nice. Quite nice. 1652. You know, shards as well. Doing well. Already have, like, over half of enough for a Heathcliff ID with Heathcliff shards. That'll be important soon. If I had to guess, we're probably, like, 5-6 weeks away from Earl King. Because we're going to get the event 2 weeks after. We'll get, Because next week's going to be Time Killing Time. There's probably going to be a week gap. And then the week after that is going to probably be Railway 4. And then, like, maybe the week after that'll be Earl King, honestly. Or maybe instead of Railway, we'll get a random banner, then like a Season 0 banner, then the week after that will be Railway, and then the week after will be Earl King, right? That'll match up. We'll also have to see if it's going to be actually called Earl King or not. A lot of people call it Wolf of the Manor, because that's, you know, what it's been referred to in, like, the Octai stories, and that would also make sense, but we'll have to see it. There's a lot of ways they could take it. Anyways, you know, even when we're trying to do randomized stuff, the ring IDs are still, you know, taking their place as the rightful king of the team. Anyways, that'll be all for this time. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!